you're not reacting because I feel like I'm disrespecting you, but you still love me enough to look past it. So, but you know what? You're not a man.
But I don't think
Like,
I think
what?
there's men might be like you.
I don't want no man to say that to me.
But she just another thing too is that there are some men, there are some women who couldn't pick a good partner if I gave them 10 and they had to choose 1 out of 10 and all 10 were good partners, they still missed the mark.
Friends.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Rico Hundo here at 8 at the Table, and we've been setting the tone this year. And in order to continue to do that, we had to go ahead and bring out some dope guests. And today we got Rhonda.
Hi.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them about you, what you do, what you got going on, where they can find you, and all of that stuff.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Rhonda McClendon. I am a podcaster and host of Real Love Scenario, which is really about like healthy management of relationships. So we get scenarios every week and kind of give people advice from our experience. So I'm really thankful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for pulling up.
Yeah.
We also got the rest of our women on the table here. We got a women empowerment thing in First Talent. Go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies. I don't want to do it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, hater.
I was about to say, don't be so salty about it.
Salt. Call them Salt No Bay. Anyways, it's your girl Jada Blackwell. You know how I give it up. Let's turn out today. Okay, go girl.
It's your girl Amanda. Welcome back. Hey, everybody, it's Erin, the renegade.
Erin's been doing the wave for 6 years. She's gonna be a president. So today we got a dope topic, and since you like scenarios, or you do speak about scenarios on your podcast, we're gonna actually talk about a scenario here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna break it down.
Let's
Ready?
do it. Let's go.
We got a couple, a man and a woman. They're dating. They're together. The woman is actually the breadwinner. So let's just say she's making anywhere between $500,000 up a year.
Okay. Go, sis.
Go sis, right? Go bro too, cause he got her. You know what I'm saying? Cause he not making nothing in this scenario.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's the breadwinner, right? So now she goes out and she handles her business. Like she cheats and she's unfaithful.
Okay.
But she's still loyal because she still hold down the house, right?
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? But she does her dirt outside. She's not disrespectful about it.
Okay.
It's not like men are coming up to him about it. She might go on a girl's trip or her solo trip, do her thing, and she comes back. Now, do you think that, and he still does his thing in terms of his role in the relationship, and I don't know if he's cheating or not in this scenario. We'll use both. Right?
Okay.
Now, do you think that he should look the other way, assuming he's happy with the way that he's being treated and the lifestyle that she's providing, or should he go out into the dating pool where they say the dating pool is trash and try to see if the grass is greener on the other side?
Wow. So see, for me, I feel like relationships are really kind of case by case, right? So it depends on him, but let's just go with the fact that given two scenarios, like he is a person that really desires faithfulness. Like, yes, the perks of having a woman who is the breadwinner, and I'm sure they live a certain lifestyle, is great. But if he knows in his heart of hearts, like her cheating is harmful to him, like he really can't look past it. He really, really will, like maybe it causes arguments, or, you know, he feels used or just kept in a sense. I think he should walk away, right? Even with the idea that the dating pool has pee in it, because I don't always agree with that. But on the other hand, if he really is just happy with being kept and he doesn't care, I mean, it just depends on him. If he can deal with that, then cool. I personally don't think most men can actually deal with that, regardless of whether they make less or more. I think men's confidence is one of their biggest currencies. And so I think even a broke guy or a guy being kept thinks like, who the hell do you think you are to be cheating on me? I think most men think that. Yeah. So
I think he has a price. I think that any man who's going to sit around and let his woman cheat on him is like, all right, you had a price. You're willing to keep quiet and be a pu, you know what, why, and sit there and let somebody disrespect you. And like, I don't think that's a real man in my eyes, because you shouldn't let a woman cheat on you and disrespect you just because she can pay the bills. You're a grown ass man, and it's expected of you to be a man. So if you're gonna allow someone to cheat on you, then I just don't think you deserve the
Do you
respect.
feel the same way about women? Like when women allow themselves to be cheated on? Does that make her less of a woman?
No.
Okay. All right.
In this scenario,
glad you did
is
that.
it in this scenario? Are we calling the cheating disrespect, or are we like taking the?
What we're saying.
I mean, is cheating period disrespectful if they're still loyal to their partner?
in my eyes, no. If you're asking me, no. Now, in the scenario, we said that she wasn't being disrespectful about her ways of cheating. In a sense, where like she's not bringing it back at home. He's not finding out.
But he just has like inklings, right? Like
Well, maybe he probably knows, like, yo, my girl's going to Jamaica. Somebody in Jamaica about to will pipe her down. She's gonna come back here and tell me she loves me.
That sounds like an open relationship.
Yeah.
So
On one
I mean,
side.
if he knows,
It
Just
sounds
make it
like
open
she loves
relationship.
him.
yeah.
So what?
It sounds like she loves him.
She do love him.
no, she does.
She
I
just
mean,
doing her. She just living her best
As-
life because she can
yeah.
afford to
as
do
men
so.
love to say, just because I cheat on you, that don't mean I don't
love
love you.
Right.
We basically said that like a choir. We heard that enough.
But I don't. You can you respect your man? Can you respect your man if you taking care of the household and you out being able to do your thing? Can
I'll
you
be
respect your man?
honest.
A man can respect his woman in that aspect. He can, but can you respect your man? If you come home and he's sitting his ass down, making sure the house clean, got on an apron, and you bring it home to bacon, turkey, if you know.
Turkey
But
bacon.
if you bring it home to the money, and he's not, he knows what you're up to. Like, I can't respect it.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that I am going to respect someone who respects me. So if you don't talk out the side of your neck to me, if you don't raise your voice at me, if you listen to, my ideas, things that I believe in, and you can criticize it or whatever, but like if you just give me like just general respect that you give somebody, then I can respect you. Now, if you don't do that, I'm gonna put the cheating in your face because you deserve to be disrespected at this point because you've disrespected me.
That is Erin Campbell, y'all. That is so Erin.
I feel like it's hard. Like so much of what I think about relationships is case by case. So it's hard for me to think that cheating is respectable. You can say you're not messy with it, right? Like you're not out overt with it. Like you clean your phone up, or these people aren't calling me, they're not waiting for me outside my job. That's like, I wouldn't call that respectful. I would just call that tidy. Like you just,
And sneaky.
yeah, it's sneaky. You're neat about it, but it's still disrespect, especially if I don't know and I didn't agree to it. I didn't agree to this. It sounds like he knows and he's okay with it. Like you said, he has a price. His thing is, I don't care because I'm kept.
I don't want to have sex with a man.
One thing about what Erin says, or I think it was Jada. Sorry, guys. If I know, and we both just play in the house, knowing I'm going outside
Right.
and doing whatever, I'm now not going to respect you.
Thank you.
Because even no matter how tidy or neat I am with it, not messy, and I'm like, I'm keeping the house good, you good, and I'm still doing my thing outside. If somehow this information came into your lap and you did not approach me about it, or you didn't like confront me about it, and I know that you're just living with this information, what kind of man is this? I therefore would not respect you now. Is that wrong?
No, I actually think that's a great point because let's say he 100% knows and then he doesn't say it. I'm going to be like, man, hold your nuts.
That's all I was saying.
No, because at the end of the day, if I know, I'm
coming
going
to
to
you.
say something.
Word up.
Yeah.
And I'm already going to know the answers to the questions that I'm asking. So I'm just giving you some room. So what is some rope to hang yourself,
And at this
So-
point, can you really not
it's just
survive
like,
on your own?
how
You
do
need me
you
that bad
approach
that you're going to
that?
let me violate
I
you?
hope not.
How do you approach that? So I'm gonna be mad that you're not mad. So it's like, so you really not gonna be mad that I'm cheating?
Y'all are
for
toxic.
real.
That's what it is.
It's not-
Y'all women are toxic.
I don't think that's
a
toxic.
fact.
I'm mad because you're not reacting because I feel like I'm disrespecting you, but you still love me enough to look past it. So, but you know what? You're not a man.
But I don't think
Like,
that's,
like,
what
what?
Amanda's
I'm-
saying.
That
No,
sounds sick. No?
I don't think that's what she's saying.
What are we saying then?
No, she's not saying she's gonna be mad at you.
Thank you, Amanda.
I said that.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, I said it. That's why I be
No.
like, yeah, I said it.
No, but you
I'm
said
crazy.
she's mad. She didn't say she's mad. She said she's just not gonna respect.
Respect you.
I don't respect it. But it's just like, how do you approach that conversation? Well, is it a conversation to have, or
can't
am
do
I
that.
just gonna be sitting in my house not respecting you, and you just gonna be sitting in the house knowing I'm cheating? Like, what are we doing here?
It's not even a real relationship
So
at
it's like
this
you're
point.
doing something, but you want to be caught or you want to be
Mhm.
checked on what you're doing.
That's what.
That's what it sounds like.
Instead of checking yourself.
I mean,
you
not
want your
that I
partner
want
check
to be
you.
caught, but if I am for whatever
Love it.
reason caught, say you went through my phone, or I don't know, your friend told you he
Right.
saw me out with somebody, like you have the information. But if I know you have the information, damn, I'm expecting to walk in the house and shaking my boots like, damn, he knows, and he don't say nothing. What's wrong? Then I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, I can't look past the fact that you're not saying anything, because now in my mind I'm gonna think, well, why aren't you saying anything? Like,
Mhm.
so you like the life that we're living right now enough to, go past the fact that and is it
Could he
because
not
you
like
want my
you?
money?
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to
Like,
be
could
in
he
that
not like
situation
you?
because I'm just going to be like, okay, this ain't working. Me and you are not going to work. You got to go. You got to figure it out.
I
No, because if you really love me, you'll be mad.
I actually disagree because that logic really don't make sense now.
No, if you really love me, you're gonna be. If your husband is cheating and you found
No,
out, you're
if
gonna
you-
keep quiet.
Wait, say what?
That's not
now?
what. That's not what
No,
we're
we're on the
saying.
woman's side right now. We're not on the man's side.
Well, I'm
We're
just
not
saying
reversing
for.
it.
Because yeah, in a second, because
Reverse.
I want to let you know y'all contradict all of women's minds. Just
Not
now.
me.
So this is I don't even know what you just said, but sorry, but like
Be mad is what I said.
I mean, everybody don't get mad at everything. Let's just say that
Mhm, mhm.
because they're expecting in their minds for you to do what we agreed for you to do. What we agreed for you to do is to be faithful, is to be honest, is to be upfront, and to be down for me. But you're the one that's going outside of that agreement, not him. So why does he need to be mad? You should be mad at yourself.
I don't know.
If we're looking at this logically,
So he shouldn't be mad. He don't got no feelings either. That makes me.
But
That
I'm
makes
like,
me feel
where's the
super
feelings?
used.
Some people don't put all their
really love
relationships.
You
back.
really are
Yeah.
just here to survive at this point, to reap off the benefits of me. Because
or
if
maybe
you don't
he
even
just
have
really
a,
like you.
I'm about to say, yo, listen, y'all act like men don't do stupid things when they love women. Okay?
I agree, but he said we're not talking about men right now.
But we're talking about men loving that girl, right? That man is loving that girl who is disrespecting him in your eyes, right? Because she's stepping outside a relationship. And my thing is, sometimes some men would be like, yo, you know what? I don't even feel like, and this is crazy, but some men be like, I don't even feel like I'm good enough to even get her. So the fact that I got her, I'm gonna take everything that comes with this, especially if we're talking about a woman who's paying all the bills. So you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna play the same role that women play.
Thank you.
Mm.
And now we gotta, I'm not even gonna
No, keep going. 'Cause
I'm
you on-
I
you
start
on-
going.
No,
like,
yeah,
you on-
I
you
start
on the
going.
path
Like,
now.
Tapping on
Change my mind, Rico.
You on the path.
Change
now.
my.
Alright,
put
so
me on your team.
my thing is when that man, because this is really, it turns into a currency thing, which turns into who's the hierarchy in a relationship, right? So some men who do feel as if their woman is or not feel, but they are the breadwinner, they're gonna play the same role that we've been, programmed to see women play for all these times. But it's funny and it's interesting to me because a man will turn his cheek and be like, yo, you know what? It is what it is. Some women will too. Some women will also, but the funny thing is that man on the flip side that's cheating on that woman, and she decides to stay, he doesn't view the women how y'all viewing the man.
That's not true.
In a
Don't
sense
say
of,
y'all.
no, in the sense of he doesn't have respect for her as a woman no more. He still loves that girl. He's just a cheater. But for y'all to say, hey, look, if a man stays with a girl and he knows she's cheating on him, I can't respect that man.
So are men
I'm
and
not
women the
saying-
same? Do you think men and women are the same? Do you think that we are supposed to be the same? Like, are we the same?
I don't think that we're, in my personal opinion, I don't think that men and women are the same, but I do know that hierarchy will always play a part in just natural like life. So if you are the person who is, especially if we're talking about $500,000 to $1 million a year you're making, you're providing a really dope lifestyle. And at the same time, I mean, and in that same breath, you got to either fall in line or get the hell out of line. I said this here before. Women and men have to learn you need to pay to play. If you can't pay, if you can't put up, then you need to shut up. That's it. So in that sense, if that man can't put up the money and he really loves his girl, he got to take what come with it.
And
Let
that's
me-
what I'm
let me
saying. I
just
don't
correct
respect. That's all I'm
myself
saying. I'm
in
just
saying that I didn't say that if the man doesn't leave, I don't respect him. If he doesn't even
Check you.
check me, he doesn't have a conversation about it, let me know that like, yo, I know what you're doing and this ain't flying with me.
Why check?
Because
What's the point
no,
of
because
checking?
my thing is, I understand what you said, but you falling in line and playing a role, it just seems weak, especially when I'm the breadwinner. I'm the breadwinner and I'm already not trying. I'm going to say trying for myself, not to look at you as less of a man. And you know I'm cheating and you're not going to say anything. You falling in line? Where are you being a man? Like, come on. I'm being dead ass now.
I mean, he's being man, and it takes it takes strength to stay with somebody who's cheating on you. That's first of all.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. Yell at me. Like, let's do it. And then let me say sorry and like I'm
let me
you
feel
know
bad.
and we'll get back together.
Wait, he's gonna
I'm not
check you
I'm
for
not
what?
telling you to leave or nothing. That's what I'm saying. But you don't say nothing
What is he checking you for?
for
You're
cheating.
gonna do it anyway.
What do you think?
I feel like men and women to
No,
answer
if you
your
put me in my
question-
place, I'll never do it again.
Yeah, you are.
Right,
You gonna do
right,
it?
right.
That's just, you're not a
If it was
cheater.
that simple.
You're not
If it
a
was that
cheater.
simple, right. I think that men and women are much more alike than we think.
Yes.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
a lot more things that are just like human needs and human
Yes.
responses than they are like men versus women. I keep like just staring off into like, who is this guy? Like, I have never heard of such a story.
Right.
But
That's
yeah,
what I
I'm
was
sure
saying.
all
This is
things
fake.
exist. It's like I really don't think that anyone is experiencing that level of violation and not saying anything unless they are there for tangible, materialistic reasons. I just, even when you like somebody a lot, the idea of them being with someone else, especially through deceit. Again, cheating is about deception. It's only wrong when you don't have permission to do it. So if I'm okay with you sharing your body with someone else because we have this lifestyle at home, we need to have a conversation about that. We need to establish that. The deception is where the issue comes in. And so I have a really hard time believing that any man, really any person, but any man would know, even with a woman making this much money, that she's out cheating and he's just not going to address it. But if that is the case, then he's there because of reasons that really probably don't have anything to do with like heart connection, soul connection. He's there because it's comfortable. He's there because it's cool.
And it's
Hell, he
convenient.
might even be there because he likes her, he enjoys her, but he
You
got
don't love her?
other people too.
Thank you.
Like
that
I'm
ain't
doing my
love.
thing too. Like while you
So-
out of town sleeping with somebody in Jamaica,
That is not
I'm
love.
in town sleeping with the girl next
She
door.
think I live in this penthouse alone.
Yeah,
He's
like-
sleeping with the maid.
Yeah, baby. When you gonna be back from Jamaica?
But, all right, so
Let me
now
make
let's.
sure-
But
I'm just
like,
trying to
so
make sure the
let's,
house clean before you come
It's
back.
impossible, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's dive
She's giving us
deeper.
a discount.
Put the condom in the pail, please.
Let's dive deeper into the conversation, right? And let's talk about what I think could be a potential reason, because I've seen women do it. So if I see women do it, and I know there's a lot of, unfortunately, I call them lame men that do it too, right? When you have a history, a pattern of a bunch of relationships where you had the same turnout, in a sense, in this topic, maybe you've been dating somebody and last 3-4 relationships you had, all of them cheated on you. At this point, cheating is normal. So there is the PTSD that comes with cheating, and there could be an acceptance that comes with just being disrespected in a way that most people probably wouldn't fathom.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about that part, that aspect of just, we can branch out of this scenario,
Yeah.
but let's talk about that aspect of dating, the PTSD of dating. Because now maybe somebody could say, hey, look, I don't want to go back into the dating pool for what? I've been cheated on 4 times. getting cheated on the fifth is not cool for me.
Yeah,
I might as
that's
well
true.
just stick with the person who's cheating on me now.
Yeah.
And he or she does X, Y, and Z for me. It
Or
makes
that could
sense.
be a way that you push people away as well because of your PTSD. For example, let's say I'm accustomed to someone cheating on me, and then in my next situation, I'm just like, I'm not having it. Like now, I'm gonna take all of the steps that I have to take to make sure this person doesn't cheat on me. So now like, it's becoming like almost possessive or like obsessed, like an obsessed, like
Yeah.
something where you're just always trying to make sure. Oh, let me get your location. Let me have your passwords.
You're like OCD.
Yeah, it's
I
just
dealt with that.
yeah. So it's like those are other ways that
It shows
a
up.
lot of people have dealt with that, and that's another reason why they say like the dating pool is trash or this and that, because you don't want people keeping tabs on you. And that's one thing that a lot of people like to try to do these days, whether it be like, oh, let me follow your friends so I can watch their story and see if you really going out with them, or it's just so many ways to try to keep tabs on people. And I think a lot of people have PTSD in relationships, and they try to prevent things from happening. And I don't really think like it's a healthy way to date, but a lot of people have to figure out their PTSD in order to have a healthy dating.
I agree. I
cycle.
feel like all of us get conditioned by the relationships that we have in our lives. Like it's just no way to not. You have to really be intentional to combat it. But every relationship conditions you, from your parental relationships to your professional relationships. They all kind of form for you this like, oh, this is what happens. This is like normal. I mean, I've hired people and they're like, oh, I never did it like this before. They're saying that from what other jobs they had before they worked with me. And so I do think that can happen. It's conditioning negatively or conditioning positively. My personal experience, I had that in a relationship years ago. All my relationships pretty much from like high school up until 30, I was very used to like bickering. Like that was just such a natural thing, and bickering like aggressively, like
you would
yelling.
bicker?
Both of us would like,
Oh, whoa.
like it would if we had a rough patch, we would argue like loud, yell, never like physically abusive, but it would be like you shut up, no you shut up, blah, 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 like that whole thing. And it wasn't until I met a man that the first time that happened, like I felt so stupid because he looked at me and was like, "Why are you yelling?" And like calmly, just like, "Why are you yelling?" And I was like, "I don't even know. I don't have an answer to that because I legit don't know." But that then showed me there's another way. And he was like, "Yo, we can disagree. You do not have to raise your voice. We do not have to curse. We can have a discourse and do it calmly." And literally for the 4.5 years we were together, we never had like a spat, we disagreed plenty of times, but it was, it was so good. So
I
I've
am
now
not the
learned
argument
that.
type.
So now, like,
I would
Yeah, I'm
go
not
to the
doing
top of my lungs.
Me, listen.
and it's so uncomfortable, right? Like after you do, like my whole body will be shaking. Like I'm like, dog, I need like 2 days to come down off of this fight.
That's why I
because-
hate arguing.
Yeah,
Maybe 4.
yeah.
That can stop a relationship for me.
Yeah,
Because I'm
no,
like,
for
if you
sure.
like to do too much and argue too much, look, this ain't gonna work out.
See how you get me?
Right.
It's
No,
not
it's
You
really
making me
you
act
yourself.
because once I get to that level, I turn like
No,
to a
it's not.
Tasmanian devil.
Crazy.
Like,
I
now
wanted
let's
to-
just fight.
I wanted to take a word that you said or a phrase that you said, and I wanted to also dive in on it. We are all, it's not verbatim.
Mhm.
We are all conditioned by our past relationships.
Yeah.
Good and bad to our own detriment is what I'm adding.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the problem that I've then realized is that I say this all the time. Y'all heard me say it earlier. In my opinion, there's only 20% of good women, 20% of good men. Now, the problem is if you experience one of these or maybe even 2 of these, your conditioning for your past relationship, those bars are really high. So when you get back to reality, which is that dating pool that everybody's complaining about, that don't exist over there. That's that 80%. So now my question is, how do we get out of the conditioning that we think that, oh, I deserve this because I experienced this? It could be, roses every week. It could be trips 3 times a year, 4 times a year. But realistically, not everybody's able to do that same upkeep and meet that bar that you're setting. So is the dating pool really trash, or are our expectations from our previous relationships the bar has been set too high?
I feel like it's a mixture of both, right? I do think dating is difficult. As a single woman, dating can be challenging. It's a lot of things. I ain't gonna go into all the reasons why I think it's challenging, But I also think, yes, your standards can sometimes be like a what you were saying, like an obsessive reaction to what you dealt with. Like it becomes like I'm trying to damage control every little interaction, and that's impossible to do. You cannot damage control every single thing. You have to start people off with a clean slate. You have to give everybody a new opportunity, but also have your standards and stand on them and make sure that they're realistic. Like I'm sure most women can write a list of 20 to 30 things we would love to have in a person, but then you have to prioritize those things and be realistic about like in order. Like some of these things I may not get. Am I okay with not getting a man with a six pack? Yes, I'm okay with that. If he's the top 10 things or the top 5 things, then we could probably work with, we could probably work with it. I think we all have to be realistic about that, and not come in over controlling because you made bad decisions in your past. Because some of it is about bad choices and some of it is about a bad person or a person who just wasn't in a position to be in the relationship with you in the right way. So I don't know. I think you have to start fresh and you have to be really accountable to you, so that as you're going forward, you're being sensible. You're being sensible about it all.
And remembering that nobody's perfect. Are you perfect? Do you
No,
have,
of course not.
do you
Yeah.
have all of the things that someone is looking for? So sometimes it's not just the dating pool. It's like we're a part of the dating pool. So
Yeah.
obviously, if something isn't working, what is it that I could be doing wrong? And I think that's important as well. Like acknowledging, okay, I have some stuff that I need to work on in order to make, a relationship work a lot of times.
And I feel like a lot of times we forget that part.
Yeah, that
We
I'm
do,
not
yeah.
perfect. I got some
Yeah.
shit with me.
I be hearing this. I know what I want. I know what I. No, you don't.
Men know, but men say that too.
No. Listen, anybody who's running with the narrative of I know what I want, to me, they're closed-minded. You haven't gotten all of those things in one person, so you're not being realistic. Because if you did get all those things with that one person, you'd still be with them. So, like, I think that when we have to also come down off of ourselves and saying, because a lot of the things that we want, in my opinion, is only what society has told us we should have, what we
Right.
deserve,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if we come down off that, pedestal that we put ourselves on and just be more mindful about what the world really is, we could probably understand that the dating pool is not as bad as it is. Now, in my opinion, it's filled with a lot of leftovers, right? Because the good ones are usually
hate
going
that
to be
word.
taken,
Mhm.
but there are some people who fumble the bag and you might luck up, but you got to understand that they're not going to have all 5 things. They might only have 3.
But that's not always true because we always hear about divorces. We always hear about people who you may have picked the wrong person. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a catch. It's just that you spent 10 years with the wrong person. Now you're back in the dating pool. So we can't even say like those types of things because every day it's a new person that's getting thrown back in the dating pool
They fall through
and
the
they ain't do
cracks.
shit. Yeah, but like,
The other
and
person
now
could
they
be a
have
catch too. The one
yeah.
that you're leaving, they're just not a catch for you.
Exactly.
There's
They
somebody
belonged
else's
in the
catch.
dating pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think sometimes people get into relationships based off of, oh, I need to check this off my list, check this off my list.
Yeah.
But like, what about just having genuine good chemistry?
Yeah.
What about meeting someone that you can genuinely work with and, is able to, understand you in certain ways? So I think sometimes that is also like,
I feel like some
Like,
people are afraid to leave it up to that because it's just like sometimes when you get in a really good groove with someone and you start to like them and you guys have good chemistry, they check no boxes.
Mm.
Maybe 1 or 2, but it's just like
They only got
that's
the
not
chemistry
enough.
box
But it's
checked.
just
Right.
like
How are you
Gotta match.
surviving? Like, can you decide, all right, I'm gonna just be with a woman, like, Okay, so anyways, yeah, but like
It it is.
no, because to have that, like
That's
you
a
ever feel like you
shame.
need that masculine feel, like you need somebody to be like, yeah, come here, girl. Put your head on my chest.
I don't want no man to say that to me.
Is she just drunk?
On my chest. So okay, so like when it comes to the dating pool, I feel like if you, for example, me, I know I like a certain look sometimes, or like a lot of people, when we hear women say all the time, oh, he has to be over whatever height, 5'11", who knows? I don't know, whatever girls say.
It's 6
But if
feet,
you-
child.
Let her stick with the 5'11". Thank you. Alright.
But like, everybody has these certain things. So if you are already going into the dating pool expecting these things that you've put on your list, you're going to assume, oh, the dating pool is trash. But you're looking for things that are just
unrealistic.
Yeah, they're unrealistic and they're not going to help you find a good person. You're not looking for a good person. You're looking for like certain things that are not going to make you have a successful relationship. So I don't think necessarily the dating pool is bad. I just think people are looking in the wrong direction or they're not really.
But so that actually relates to what Marie said. If you look around and you not snag, you in the 80 and you can't snag somebody in the 20, that lets you know you're in the 80 and you should be looking in the 80.
Right.
It gives you a vast amount of people to look at now. So of this 80% of men or women, why can't you find somebody? And so that should put your checklist in check, because that means your checklist is not parallel to reality. It's not parallel to exactly to your reality. And I remember I said this the other day, like, you can't make $32,000 a year looking for a man that makes $189 a year. I mean, can it happen? Yes, anything is possible. However, what is the likelihood of it happening?
1% chance.
It's not exactly. It's not that likely. So, do you want to keep spinning your wheels every day, running into the wrong kind of men which are men who don't want you, or men who are not good for you, or men who will not, can't even have a fucking conversation with them? Like, are you going to keep spinning your wheels with these kind of people? Or are you going to, like, bring yourself into reality? Are you going to quit being delusional? Like, the delusion is what's killing us. Like, you think you so great and you deserve somebody else. No, what do you qualify for? And you say this all the time, Rico. What do you qualify for? And I'm not saying to, like, down yourself. It's great to have self-esteem and this, that, and the other. But come on now, self-esteem does not include delusion.
No, it don't.
You know?
Well, in 2023, it seems
does.
like
It helps the self-esteem. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know what
That-
also
that's
is
help.
another thing too, is that there are some men and there are some women who couldn't pick a good partner if I gave them 10 and they had to choose 1 out of 10 and all 10 were good partners. They still missed the mark.
I think a lot of that, though, is because we are constantly thinking there's something more.
Better, yeah.
We're never content, and not like in a settling type of way. Like, we are never content. It's like, this person is 90% of what I want. It's gotta be a 99 out there. It's like, that is so ridiculous.
It is.
Especially once you get to a certain point in life and you know that you may want certain things that are biologically controlled. Like, you want a family. How long are you gonna chase 99% if you 47?
And at one
how
point,
long are you gonna chase
Time is
that?
ticking.
and at one point,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily settling, because we talk about settling all the time. At one point, once you get to a certain percentage, okay, you're not settling. You're just
Being greedy.
yeah,
You're being
delusional.
greedy, yeah. It's
Now
too
you're just
much.
looking, because ain't nobody out here 100%. Somebody going, like, somebody is not going to have that piece
Yeah.
that you. Maybe the person can't drive. All right, we know you wanted a NASCAR driver out this bitch, but the person you just drive for him. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you think about, so many people think Beyonce, right, is like top tier, probably incredible, a wonderful wife, all the things. Beyonce is infamously known for not being able to cook. She can't cook.
And messy.
Can
Like, she doesn't like clean up after.
So can we really, like, if Beyonce can't cook, y'all, like, and Jay-Z okay with it?
But they
I
can
don't-
afford.
Jay-Z has really no
But they
choice.
can't
Jay-Z,
afford.
If Jay-Z wasn't Jay-Z, he'd be in the 80%. Okay.
Of course.
Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Now,
He'd be in
you
the-
got to be able to
I
take
mean,
some.
if
you
Jay-Z
know.
wasn't Jay-Z, we don't know what he'd be like.
He'd be Sean Carter in the Marcy Projects.
Well, how would you know after all these years that he would still be in the
You probably could have got him a sugar mama.
No, but his name is Sean Carter, and he's from the Marcy Project.
No, that's where he's from, but that's not where he was going to be going, if he wasn't Jay-Z. How you know he was still going to be there, Erin? That's
He was
my
Jay-Z
question.
in, like, young 20s, so he still would have been Sean Carter in the Marcy Project.
Anywho,
I
the
ain't
real
hearing that.
thing
I'm from
is-
Brooklyn. I'm not
Shout out
hearing
Jay-Z
that.
and Beyonce. We love your music.
Yeah.
Y'all got the extra tickets.
Please, from 8 at the table.
Asking for friends.
But there's a lot of people that don't know what a good partner looks like, and that's because they listen to
city.
the outside resources.
Mm-hmm.
They listen to social media. They base their current situation off prior experiences. Anything that could resemble something that looks like something that that was in their past that they did not like, they automatically cut it off. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, damn, you really think about it, you were never capable of picking a good partner. So what makes you think it's going to be easy now? Because it's not. There's still the reasons why you're picking bad partners probably is because you don't know what you want and you don't know how to identify it.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep
Preach.
falling into this cycle and now you're blaming the dating pool.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's you. You got to do some real self-reflecting so then you can understand what you need to go after, what really works for you. And unfortunately, you have to learn from experiences because we can't tell you how to be you. You got to deal with that man that's cheating on you for you to realize that cheating is a deal breaker. You got to deal with that woman that doesn't cook and doesn't clean for you to realize that that's a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Because we all think we know what we want until we get it. And now we back in the dating pool.
Yeah. And you
Okay.
realize, like, damn, the cooking and cleaning actually wasn't quite enough. I need a little bit more than that.
Just got to raise. I got to hire.
It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning for good, conditioning for bad. I agree with you. You don't know until you know. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, you really don't know until you know. And you have to try some things out to see if you like it or if you don't like it so that you can be a better picker. But really, for me, it's so that you can make sure that you are being what you say you want. You can, I know they say opposites attract. I think that's partly true. I think more than anything, we're a lot more drawn to similarities. That's what bonds us. Commonality bonds us.
Yeah.
So if I say I want someone that's ambitious and is emotionally intelligent and is fit, let's just say that. Well, at minimum, I need to try to be those three things myself because I'm thinking that that type of person is looking for that too. So you have to turn the mirror onto yourself and try to be who you say you want. So hopefully you manifest or whatever we're calling it today, but you draw in that type of energy to your life. I think you can find that partner when you decide to be that partner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one other thing that we should consider, and I guess to add this to your list, Rico, the problem why some people don't know how to pick a partner, a good partner, is because they've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Their grandparents didn't have a good relationship. Their parents didn't have a good relationship. Their siblings aren't married. Like, you know, they've never had any sort of like fundamentally sound relationships around them. And if you don't see it, one, you don't have anything to aspire to other than what you see on Instagram or whatever. So I just say, while you're right, I will say let's give people a bit of grace in knowing that a lot of people or some people don't have anything to rely on when it relates to having seen a healthy, fundamentally sound relationship that's gonna like flourish at some.
To follow like
And
a
I agree,
blueprint.
but you know what, Erin? I'm with you. I agree with you 100%, but I don't cut slack, right? And there's a
Right.
reason. Because the same things, it's like I said, if you could throw it in front of their face. We watch people post their relationships on Instagram. And although, yes, we do know that sometimes it is a fake happy relationship. But there are a lot of people who would be like, can't be real, without even knowing. You get what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes it's like some of the people don't even want to learn what a good relationship even looks like. They don't even want to believe it, you know? And some of them are really so, I'm not going to say her name, but I'm going to say her name. Brittany Renner, she said how she liked being a side chick in certain relationships because she wanted to just see how the love in the relationship really wasn't real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
She wanted
how
to
it wasn't real for the other people?
For the other
Yeah.
people. It
Oh,
can't be real
like, oh, you
because
think
he's
you
willing
got
to
a good
step out.
man.
Oh, okay.
He's sleeping with me.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Exactly. So it's like some people are, and I'm not saying she is, but some people are so like caught up to this part where they want to be a detriment because they've never experienced this. That
That sounds
even
like
if they see it,
self-sabotage too.
yeah, they just, I don't cut slack. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you, but there's some of the other side that's like a little finicky.
Do you think that was someone who was unhappy that was trying to bring unhappiness to other couples as well? Or
It could definitely be.
I think
Yeah.
that's what it kind of sounds like
Uh-huh.
too. Like, oh yeah, like
Or they
because what if
challenge
you
it.
were the reason that this person? What if you're the first person now that this person steps out of their relationship for? Like, you're just giving them like
Because you made yourself so enticing,
Enticing,
to
yeah.
prove a point.
And available.
It's true. Like, sometimes you don't know that what you're doing is toxic or it's unhealthy because you're in it, you're stuck in it, and this is the only example that you've had, so you think it's cool, or you're there for the wrong reasons. If you're there for money, like, I think a lot of times people are willing to take so much when they are paid. It sucks, right? I disagree with it. I hate everything about it, but that's for my life. Like, you could be a billionaire. If I don't feel good in your company, if I don't feel
With a B?
respected or
Wait, right.
A B.
Hold up.
Yes, she said a B.
I'm gonna feel good all the time. It's like, I'm joking.
A
I'm gonna
B,
make
a B.
myself feel
I'm
good.
not saying
Do
that.
you, boo?
I think we all have a price technically, right?
Right,
But
absolutely.
so much of my price is just not rooted in money. Like, I'm not saying that I couldn't enjoy certain things, but when the money is removed, then what? Like, I know that the saying is like, you want to cry in a whatever
Rolls
or
Royce.
yeah, but it's like, I don't actually want to cry at all. That's what I need you
But
to
you gonna
understand.
cry
You gonna cry
regardless. That's the
sometimes.
point. You gonna cry
But
regardless.
I wanna
Don't you want to
minimize
cry
that.
under the stars?
I want to.
But wait.
Yeah, the ones in the sky, not necessarily the ones in the car.
But you want to
what
know
I'm saying?
something?
Like-
But I learned, like, when I was single, I'm not gonna lie, right? When I was single, okay, imagine you are used to dating a guy that drives in this nice ass G-Wagon, like you just are, you've been dating this person for a while, right? And then there's this really good guy. He's so sweet to you. He has a lot going on. Like, he's smart, has a lot going on, whatever. I don't even know how to explain this person, but he's respectful to you. He does sweet things, but he drives a car that you're not attracted to. I'm not going to say what kind of car because I get in trouble for that, but he drives a car that ain't what you expecting because you used to ride around in this G-Wagon, so whatever. So whole time, this is just something that I have learned from when I was single. Whole time, this person actually, the G-Wagon was capping compared to the person that has the chill car because they actually have way more going on. They have, they just chose not to have the G-Wagon. They can have the G-Wagon, but they're just smarter with their finances.
Like Warren Buffett.
So, yeah, but that's why, because exactly, we see those people like, not even Elon Musk, it was someone else.
The rich men love.
Yeah, they be wearing a crate. Like, I'm telling you, I've experienced it myself where it's just
Same.
like, you could have a motherfucking Wraith if you wanted to, but that's not everybody's style. So it's like sometimes we count people out or we look at people and we judge them from their appearance. And a lot of times the people that shine ain't the gold or the people that, so it's like sometimes I have experiences where I didn't judge people or I didn't look at someone and say, oh, I ain't about to go hang out with that person because they look like a bum. But then, like, I would hang out with people just because I was just trying to, make friends, whatever. And I would be really surprised at the results I would get from people that I just gave a chance. So I think in the dating pool, sometimes you just don't give people chances and you end up passing up people who have so much potential or who are more than what you expected them to be. Sometimes you just have to go outside of what your norm is. And because that's something that I always, every time I was
people have
surprised.
turned women out with luxury rentals and luxury experiences.
Right, but I'm saying step away from that.
No,
because,
I know. I agree with you. No, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you.
Well,
but
say you agree with me because I need to hear
agree,
more.
I agree with you.
I need to hear more.
But it's
acceptance.
unfortunate that
Yeah.
it's like, see, this is what I gathered.
But I've done that. I have no
I
problem
get
with
it, I
that.
get it. This is what I gathered from what you've done,
Mm-hmm.
or what you said, not done.
Yeah, I
That
did it.
a guy could turn a girl out and make her delusional because she decides that the lifestyle he provided is the only lifestyle that she's willing to accept. And it's really only based by the materials and nothing to do with how she's actually treated. So now you have a girl who experiences a G-Wagon, she experiences a jet, she experiences these trips, mansions, and all these different things, but he doesn't treat her right at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ends up in a dating pool because he was an asshole, right? And now the guy who drives a Civic is beneath her, but yet he'll treat her better than the G-Wagon guy.
Why
And
did
then-
you just play me like this?
And then
even say
what
this.
happens is the dating pool is trash. The dating pool gets the blame. And it's like, no,
Wanna
you're just being
defend yourself?
delusional. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie. Just like how you said before, money can make a woman really have some type of happiness, even, despite how he is to you.
Yeah.
Right? You can find something to be happy with a man with money, right? But the problem that ends up happening is you're never fulfilled. You may be happy, but you're never fulfilled.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick? I think for women in general, I think it's also because of thinking longevity wise. Like, I always have my future in mind, or when I'm dating, I always have my children, my future children. I always have those things in mind. we ain't thinking about y'all for real. We think about, okay, when I have kids, can my kids go to private school? Can my kids be provided for properly? Can my kids have a nice room? I want to paint it like this and put this right here. Like sometimes as a woman, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm thinking of longevity, and I'm thinking of what the man can bring to my life when. Okay, say I'm a woman that's like, all right, I may have my shit together and I want someone that can at least like do what I plan to do for my child and more. Honestly, you always want more, men or women. You want more.
No, I agree, but the problem that happens is it's like, okay, yeah, and I listen. I'm not saying, hey, you can't look at it from a smart aspect and saying, well, if this person can possess the ability to possess these different types of materials that cost X, Y, and Z, he can be able to potentially afford a future because he has the money now. But we also always got to keep in mind a lot of people lose money all the time.
Absolutely.
And then on the top, on the other end of the spectrum, is like, and when you have that mindset, in my personal opinion, you can then taint your child's mindset when it comes to character. Because just because this person has good money or money doesn't mean he can teach this person how to be a good man or teach that woman how to be a
Right.
good
I've seen
a
that as
good
well.
woman
Right.
as a father or mother, whoever that person is. So now when we put too much pressure and too much importance on having the money, we're now taking away what it is to actually create a good person with that person.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got to really think longevity wise. Because I see a lot of girls crying and they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say no names, but there's girls crying like, yeah, my guy is rich, but he's never here for the kid.
Right.
So now the kid is suffering.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool. Yeah, he could go to a private school. Yeah, he could do all this or she could do all that. But guess what? They still don't have a father. You know what I'm saying? Or a mother or whomever.
Have
And at the end
resentment.
of the day, that person could grow up and be another terror. They're just a rich terror.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just an ongoing cycle. So we really got to start honing in on who's a good person. And then how can we help this person become their potential? How can we contribute to that, I should say, because they're in the control of that.
That's why I said that billionaire thing. I know it sounds crazy, and sometimes I hate like going off about this because then people misunderstand me and they're like, "Oh, she's okay with a man just not having any money or being
No.
broke or being a
Yeah,
bum." I just when you really start to like work on yourself and you realize like what life is truly about, money is a resource. We all need it. I'm not ever going to make it seem like I don't want a man that makes a certain amount of money so that we are comfortable, so that we can have certain luxuries of life, so that we're not living check to check, so that we can't give our kids certain things. But I need to be able to feel, like you said, fulfilled. I need to be able to feel like I actually have a partner and I'm just not in a financial relationship. I can be in a financial relationship with a bank. I could be in a financial relationship with a lender. I don't need to actually share a house with you and share a bed with you and share my life with you and my family with you. I don't need to do all of that if the only thing you can provide is money. It's just not enough. It's because money would never be enough for me. If I just said, oh, I just want to make this amount of money in my life and that's my only goal, I feel like you're a shell of a person. Like I need to feel fulfilled in my life. That's why we all, I think, are here with purpose beyond bread. Like, yes, is Jay-Z a billionaire? Not to keep bringing him up, but is he a billionaire? Of course. But he has a great amount of purpose here. And so once you get to a certain level with money, it's like, all right, cool, you got that. So
Now
what
what?
else can you offer? What else can you bring to the table? I think we've all met rich jerks. We've all met really wealthy people who are assholes. And you're like, ew, like, I don't want to come to your house. I don't want to party with you. So I'm most certainly not going to lay down with you or have a baby with you unless it's just, again, you're like an ATM. You're just a financial transaction. And I'm not sharing my life with you. I'm not even giving life for you if that's all you can bring to the table. I can't do it. So, and this is as a person, I don't have $1 million, just so y'all know. I would love $1 million. Okay.
Yeah.
But I need more than that. The currency of who you are as a person is more valuable.
Right.
I have
I
a
don't know.
question. If we're talking about like the currency of who you are as a person, what do we tell the audience? How do you get over that first hurdle of they don't look like this, they don't have this much money, they don't dress a certain way, they don't have a certain car, they don't meet some of those boxes that you think are necessary for you to pursue something with them. So what would y'all tell? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what to tell people. All I can say is be real with yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really know what that
How to
means.
do that.
they need a list. Being real with yourself means X, it means Y, it means 1, it means 2, it means 3. But what information can we give like the audience in saying like, yo, if you keep hitting that wall, this is the first hurdle you need to get over so that you can find somebody who is good for here, who has the currency as a person that you said, who has that type of character and that type of currency.
I mean, I'm happy to answer. I think that, like you said, you got to get real with yourself, right? Like, I am a big proponent of get what you want, but asterisk, like, get what you want, be reasonable, don't be delusional, but also really prioritizing. Like, write your list down, really look at your list. If your list is filled with an extreme amount of superficial things, listen, we're human beings, right? We're fleshy. We like to be attracted to people, so don't subject yourself to like, well, he's a good man, Savannah, but I don't want to kiss him and I don't want to have sex with him. He's still not the one, okay? He is still not the guy because you require physical attraction. So be realistic about your list. If your list is extremely excessive, if it has like more than 30, 40 things on it, it's like, think about you. What would you want? If someone came to you and gave you a list of 50 things and you're like, damn, I only got 25, but I'm decent, I'm still a good... If that's your vibe, then understand that may also be their vibe, right? Like they don't possess all 50 of the things you want. If I could just type in a computer, yeah, he would be amazing, right? He no misses, like none whatsoever. Bow-legged, 6'4", love the Lord, all the things, but that's just, it's not always realistic. So I'm not saying settle, because I don't want to confuse that message. I'm not saying settle, but it is really getting an understanding of who you are. And like I said earlier, be the person that you want, right? And be realistic about what that looks like. Your environment plays a part. I just watched somebody say recently, like, she moved away. She moved to a different country in the pursuit of love. Because yes, she had worked on herself. Yes, she had given all these different people opportunities, but she felt like within my geography, he's not here. And she moved and she met her husband within 6 months of that move in a totally different country.
America's trashy, bro.
So it's,
oh my God.
For
men and women.
It's everyone's story,
bro.
but
Not single.
if you say you want something,
That's what be blowing my mind.
What happened?
Nothing.
When I said America's trashy, but I love him.
No, we just talking shit about you over here. It's okay.
Yeah, I think you have to try some things. I think you got to be realistic about switching up your angle, but also like don't take too many shorts, right? Because too many shorts creates resentment.
So, we've talked about like having standards and knowing when you're delusional and this, that, and the other. But I think what's most helpful for the audience is for us to be able to give some type of context on like, what is the number one hurdle you have to get over in order to figure out what is your number one, gotta have it. I can't start nothing with you without this one thing. And I understand it's going to be different, obviously it may not be different for men and women, but how do we figure out and get past like the aesthetics? How do we get past the superficial stuff? Not about the car, not about the house, not about a BBL or a six pack or whatever. But like, how do we get beyond that to assess what is the one or two things that we really just can't do without in, building a relationship with somebody? Lasting relationship.
Sex. No, but I'm just joking. But like a lot of people,
What you gonna ask?
it's important. A lot of people have their whole relationship based off sex, but that was just a joke. Go ahead.
Very important. I think, like if in your singleness, like I think about myself, one of the things I value the most about being with myself is peacefulness. Like I enjoy how peaceful I feel when I am just with me. And so my idea of getting into a relationship is only that it will enhance my life, right? I'm only going to get into a partnership if it brings myself, what I have going on, to the next level, if it enhances it. So one of the biggest things for me is someone who values peace, someone who knows how to be that, someone who knows how to create that, someone who knows how to combat when that's not when things feel crazy. They know how to de-escalate it and not escalate it. So it's really about figuring out what couple of things do you really enjoy about being single, and then you want to almost magnify that with another person. So like you said, it's going to vary for so many people. And I don't think men or women, again, I think it's based on the type of relationship you want, because some people might not value peacefulness as much as I do. You know, it's really about what can you do for the rest of your life. If you get in a relationship with this person, what do you want to do with them mostly for the rest of your life? And that is where you start. That's
So,
where you start.
Alan was saying like one of the baselines back in the day was like, do you have a job? Right? That was a baseline. You know, given the context and the history, they were coming off of the depression, and realistically, nobody was trying to go back into another struggling household, marriage, whatever. I think right now in 2023, the new baseline question that needs to be had with both men and women, with each other, is are you a hard worker? And by worker, I'm not just talking about job. I'm talking about, are you a hard worker in a relationship? Are you a hard worker on yourself? Are you a hard worker for your family? If you're not, then more likely than not, this relationship with you is not going to work. Because when push comes to shove, life is going to already throw us all of our hills. You're going to get tired, you're going to tap out, and you might not be willing to work hard anymore. I'm not saying struggle, but I'm saying you still have to put the work in. And if you're not willing to put the work in and you want the relationship to come easy, more likely than not, you won't have that relationship that you're looking for.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good baseline that hits a lot of points. So it's
Yeah.
not like only about money, only about sex, as this one
I
says.
did not say that.
But it
That
hits
wasn't
a
even
lot
my
of
real answer.
it hits a lot of points that I feel like a lot of people would find very important to have in a relationship.
I agree.
So that was a good baseline. I would say that that's a good baseline for 2023.
Yeah,
What?
I have to say this before I get out of here, that I'm so surprised I have agreed with you so many times. That's crazy. Wow.
Really?
Are all
He's not
together
that
blown away
he's
to
not that bad actually.
Wow, look at you.
You know, he really pisses me off because I
Thank you.
love him.
I'm proud.
I hate that
You know,
he's just so good.
I know I
You
like
do
you.
okay.
It's 2023. He's a little evolved actually.
Is it the glasses?
I'm about to be 30.
Okay, he didn't do that good the whole time. Now give me a compliment because I'm jealous.
I agree with you. I agree with
I'm about
you
to be
about
30.
so much stuff.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know what?
You mean it?
I don't know if you can like link this to what Rico said. I just wanted to add one thing to that. It's willingness.
Mm.
It's actually because you said hard work, and I was like, what's the word? Like
That's a good one.
the word to
Yep.
to tie it
That's
in
so
together.
good.
It's really like the willingness.
You have the willingness to
The willingness to put in the work.
Yeah.
The will,
Yeah.
and again, like you said, the work extends across so many different categories
Yeah.
of personal currency, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Like, is the person gonna fold? Is the person gonna just run away? Is the person gonna, like, man, fuck this shit?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's really the willingness to put in the work.
I love
I
all
thought
of
another
those
one, guys.
answers.
Hold on. Thank you,
But
Kat.
before
Thank you,
you-
Erin.
The most important.
Another
right.
one could be another baseline we could have is what's your threshold?
Oh, for your boundaries.
Yeah, like or your willingness. Are you only willing to go through 3 obstacles a year? You know what I'm saying? Or do you have the capacity to go through 7?
yeah.
Why would I tell you that at
Right,
first?
on the first.
Yeah, that's
So you can decide.
How many times you gonna beat my ass? I'm only gonna beat you up 5 times.
When you're picking somebody and you already know off the rip, if they've shown you that, I can't do that, I can't deal with that type of behavior. Okay, but they're cool in all these other aspects. But then you see another red flag. It's like, do you fold on that red flag,
Yeah.
or is that your boundary?
I don't know.
Your
To me,
breaking
that
point.
just
Yeah.
that just
I don't
says
know.
I'm
Like,
a
there's some people
decide
that
what
have
I'm gonna
like
put
2
you through.
things, right? There's some people that are one and done.
Yeah.
You do one thing, I'm done.
And
If we have one situation, I'm done.
I used
There's
to
some
do
people
that.
that have
a harder
100.
a harder measuring stick though, because a lot of times, like I think about my life, if somebody would have asked me, could I have dealt with something before I actually experienced it, I
Right.
might have said no, like heck no, I ain't dealing with that, or I may have thought I wasn't strong enough to get through that season in my life. So I think sometimes you don't really know, because challenges look like a lot of things, not just cheating or lying or deceit. Challenges look like you lost your job. Challenges look like you got sick and now I have to take care of you, or I have to hire someone to take care of you, which then becomes a two-part strain. You're not who you were, and financially we might be tight because now we have to pay for home care. So I don't think it's not a terrible measuring stick, but I think it's harder because sometimes you don't even know how strong or resilient you can be until you're in something. You
And
don't.
let's be honest. If you're trying to impress somebody that you just started dating, you're gonna lie.
You're gonna embellish, yes.
Beginning of the relationship, you can't find anything better than me. I'm the perfect catch. You get what I'm saying? So these are a little difficult. It sounds good, guys, but are we? It sounds good. I'm gonna just stop because I don't want to be the most. You know what? I'm just saying. Are we really gonna be honest when people ask us these questions? Because I know I'm not.
Well, I don't even think it's a question that you physically ask. I think it's something that you have to have.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you observe and analyze the other person's behavior, that's how you work down that checklist.
Right.
Because if they've already shown you that they're a one and done person, then there you go.
And it also depends on the person, though, because I've been a one and done person with a certain person or certain people. I'm not a one and done person with someone else. I want to go through this. I want to experience this with you, and I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to go through this traumatic experience. I'm willing I want to love you. So I'm willing, because you're the person that I know that I want to be with. I'm willing to go through that with you. So it's a little bit more difficult when you think of it.
Problems. All right, so this is just I'm making an analysis here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Because I believe, and I'll tell you afterwards, but my question is, yes or no? Did you and that person that you weren't one and done with, whomever that was, did you guys go through obstacles early within your relationship? Let's say within the first 3 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. So like, the thing is, when you go through
Why would
things,
you ask?
because when you go through things early with your partner,
you're in love.
you set the tone that you can go through things with them. So the things are gonna keep on coming on.
I went through things early with the person that I wasn't one and done with, though. Because
what
they
I'm
showed
talking
me
about.
He
something
is
different.
talking about the one you
The
weren't
one that was one and done, you might have had nothing wrong for 2 years in this one
No,
situation.
that wasn't the situation. It wasn't it. So you got to ask for both sides, because that's just what it was.
Say,
No.
yeah, because you could have
You didn't
waited
like-
till
you
you
didn't
didn't
like
like
the other
him
one. Yeah.
enough.
You didn't like
And
it.
as we grow, we go through different situations. I was at fault for some of the situations because I had baggage and I had shit that I wasn't ready to come clean about. So again, like, it just depends on where you are in your life and what you decide. Okay, I want to make some changes. I don't want to be one and done with you. I see potential in you, and I respect you enough to want to go through this with you because I want to grow and heal from whatever it is that I've had issues with. So
So when you think that you have had situations where you were at fault,
mm-hmm.
do you feel like you sympathy date?
Huh?
Like, do you date out of sympathy because you were wrong?
No, I don't do that.
Are you sure?
I've been in that situation before, and I'm
Right.
like, well, I'm gonna call an Uber.
Right.
Look at
These
Erin's
cars
face.
is coming kind of close, right?
She's not a rider.
She's
She's
not
not a rider. Like,
Because I mean, the
No,
house
I'm
could
gonna
just
call
be
an
going
Uber.
night.
You
What if
ain't
it's dark? What
shit.
if we on a dark
no,
road?
but,
And you can hold the phone.
but he's saying
Yeah, I
they
ain't
in the
shit.
car, they don't move. They're like this. Where's my phone?
Scrolling on the gram.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Texting my friend
Let me
like,
text-
damn, this
She
nigga
go like this. She go like this.
My opinion, you deserve what you get. If you keep that,
But everybody is different. Now there may be a man that's just like, I don't want anything to happen to you. Give me a second, babe. You just
I think
sit
he's
there
saying
looking
Those
like
be the
how
same
you
I
when
am
I
a
complain.
princess. What do you want me to do?
Let him say that.
Let him say
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
That's what
I'm
I'm
ratchet,
saying.
so I'm going outside. I'm
First of all,
sorry. I'm like, you need
Hold
to
on,
jack
Erin-
this shit up right up.
Erin's trying to go.
I get it.
I ain't gonna lie. If we get a flat in New York,
She said that.
I'm gonna tell my husband, you sit your ass in this car.
Mhm.
We gonna
Call
call
somebody.
and wait and let them deal with it
Duh.
because
and that's why you're
Now
But that's
imagine-
normal. That's
We're not getting
normal.
out
Why
of
are
the
you
car
why
to
are you
get
taking
hit.
it that far?
Now
So that
imagine-
bitch can't be married because she
I was just
I
about
called
to say.
too. I just said, wait, why he going outside to fix the shit? We got AAA, bro. You always taking some shit to the next level. Like, bro, I called too. I ain't married.
Now
Fuck is
what?
going on? Yeah,
the
I call. I be
reason?
doing nice shit. I be doing nice shit all the time. But
I be doing
sometimes
nice
it
shit
ain't
all
me. So you know.
Yo, but you know what that is though? See, there's a different I tell everybody I'm big on consideration. So if you show me you're being considerate, like if my girl says, yo, don't get out the car, we're in New York, you can get heard from another oncoming traffic, whatever.
Yep.
We're gonna call somebody like, wow. It's not even that she's thinking about her. She's kind of thinking about me, even though
Yeah.
I'm thinking about her. So it's one hand is washing the other. Now you let me go outside and just change this tire. When I get back, I'm like, yeah.
Half time the guys don't even got
First
the
of
AAA.
all-
I'm the one with the AAA anyway. You needed me to be here. You're
I'm the one with the
irresponsible. You
AAA.
just should have had the AAA.
It's crazy to me
Right.
that in the middle of having a flat tire, you're thinking about what I'm not doing. Like, just worry about the fucking
No, but I'm like that though. No, but I get it. I get it because I'm like that though. I pay attention to everything.
Me
like,
too.
oh, I ain't never hanging out with him again.
I
He got the
agree.
wrong. Oh, you
Yo,
go.
Amanda's a
You're
Gemini.
You're
though.
irresponsible. You're annoying.
I'm a little selfish.
You only gave it 10%.
Like what? Ugh, you're cheap. You're just with your broke ass. With your
You
broke
back at
ass.
home like, damn, we got that flat tire.
Right.
It's like 3 hours later. You like, we got that flat tire. That heifer did not even
Mhm.
ask me if I wanted a sip of water. Like, didn't even have a napkin ready for me. Like, sometimes it's not, it doesn't register in the
Yeah.
moment. Sometimes it's later, but I do still feel like it's messed up.
I get
Like,
turned off.
I'm a little selfish, I guess, because if that was brought up to me the next day, like, so I was feeling a type of way that you didn't, I was literally looking at like, are you serious right now? That would be me. Like, for real? It's the next day?
I'm overly compassionate in my relationships
Same.
in the beginning.
Because when they got to the house,
And that's why the dating pool is so big.
That's because he owns. That's because that's all.
That
he
wasn't
ever
the girl
got.
for you.
goes out.
I don't know what to say, but in conclusion, that's how I always, like I said, the
And it'd be
essay.
like in school, don't
Right.
say, don't write in
In
conclusion.
conclusion,
but
I do it all the
Conclude
time.
the
That's your
essay.
point.
Yeah, because I really want one of you two to do it because y'all know I'm not really.
All right,
What'd you say?
guys.
couldn't.
Wait, are you gonna do it or no?
No, you do
Oh.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've had a wonderful conversation today. I really hope that even there's so much like toxic BS that we talk about on here, but I really hope that this is something that like the viewers can take from and actually digest and put it to work in your own relationships, whether it's something you're in now or something that you seek to be in later. Because we're not always on BS. Y'all, thank you so much. You have no idea how much we love and appreciate y'all's support. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe on all the platforms, IG, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Actually, last words from our guests. Let us know where you are, if you have anything coming up. Are you inviting us to your podcast? Like, let us know what's going on.
Let us know.
Absolutely. Well, one, thank you guys so much. This conversation was amazing. I'm on social media at Ronnie Cakes, RHONI Cakes, spelled the normal way. And check out my podcast. I would love to have y'all on there. So of course we got
Give us the
we got to work.
Who's
It's
gonna
real
tear it
love.
up?
It's real love scenario. It's available wherever you get your podcast. Shout out to my co-host Dre Smith. It's on the Relationship Restored Network. And our episodes drop every Tuesday on everything. So would love to have y'all pull up on us. So thank you again for having me. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
you,
you.
Rhonda.
All right,
Hey,
y'all.
Rhonda.
It's
Thank
your
y'all.
birthday.
We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all support. And I'm gonna let y'all know right now, actually, since we talking about support. We gotta keep these lights on. So if you really love us and you
Love
value our content and you value like what we're putting out here, drop us a couple dollars. Hit that Patreon button.
Make it rain.
That merch.
You know,
5, 10,
buy a little
50.
merch, get you a date box. We want to continue doing this, and we are an independent production. We want to remain an independent production. So
5th year in business.
5th year, you better recognize the real podcast before the podcast. So if y'all want to see some great stuff this 5th year and more to come, just please support us. We love y'all. We appreciate it. Thank you.